Morning everybody, hope you're well and hope that you're beginning to find a bit of a rhythm in this time. I just wanted to talk a little bit about prayer this morning. It's not something that's ever come particularly naturally to me. In my head it's been about kind of carving out big chunks of time with God, and I think there's definitely an aspect to that, but over the last few years I guess I've begun to see it, probably since I've had children, as far more of a natural, open conversation with God throughout the day, more as moments that I get throughout the day where I'm talking to Him about what's going on, asking Him about what He's saying about certain things, asking for help with things, and generally connecting with Him. And that's been very different. That's been a real shift in my mindset about prayer. Another thing that I've struggled with also is how vast prayer can be, and I often get really overwhelmed with praying for a topic or a situation or a place and finding myself just getting bogged down with like the immensity of it, and sometimes how desperate a situation is, and just finding it really hard to pray for or pray about. Something that I've started doing over the last year is beginning to be really specific about what I pray for, and this came out of a time where I had postnatal anxiety, and so when I was waking up in the morning just feeling totally overwhelmed with the day and looking at the whole day ahead of me, so I started breaking the day down into little chunks and asking God really to like specifically help me with aspects of each section. So initially it was just like, God, please just help me get out of bed, help me just get through the shower. And I know this sounds ridiculous. I know it sounds ridiculous, probably, but that's how life was at that time for me. And through that, it has taught me how to be really specific in what I pray for and how I pray. I know we won't always be able to be specific about things. We won't always know all of the details. But when I've got the chance to ask somebody, if I'm praying for them, specifically, how can I pray for you in that situation? It just makes it so much easier for me and more meaningful for me when I'm praying. So when the kids were at school, pining back to those times, we'd pray specifically for specific things for that day. So for Manna, we're going to pray specifically for her lunchtime and the playing with her friends at lunchtime, and a specific friendship that was causing a few problems. For Benji, it was about praying for, specifically that he would have a good lunchtime in the hall. So yeah, I'm sure this probably all sounds quite obvious to most of you, but for me, it's really transformed the way that I pray. And I'm reminded of one of my favourite verses in the Bible, Philippians 4 verse 6, where it says, "Don't be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be known to God." God wants us to have this intimate relationship and dialogue with Him. He wants us to talk to Him and be specific with Him. And so I'm just wondering whether today there are things that you need to specifically talk to Him about or ask for. Is there a situation that you need to talk to Him in more detail about? Is there someone that you're praying for that you can start praying specific prayers for? Is there a place in the world that you've got heart for, that you can start praying specific prayers for? So my word for today is specific. And yeah, I just challenge you really to have a think about how you're praying and see whether you can be more specific and if that's helpful for you. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.